Welcome to the Unfiltered Doll, baby, where we do a little bit of cussing around here. So your parental advisory has been advised. Also, baby, listen, we may have some bad opinions and whatever it is that you're going through. If you feel triggered, baby, just remember we're not talking about you. We're talking about the people on the screen. Hello, everybody, and happy Freaky Friday. I hope everybody is doing well, honey. It is only 10:44 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are already down at the bar, okay? Because it's been one of those weeks, okay? Hope everybody is doing amazing today. I see you were first, Sassy Sue. Hello, Sassy Sue, Butterfly 23, Jayla H, AK, POV, Dawn Michi, the RN, Mimi 55. Hello. Diddy's Baby Oil for Always, Forever, for Life. Patty, how is everybody doing? Listen, baby, we're going to get right into it. We don't have much time to waste now, do we? I hope you are all feeling good, looking good, and smelling good. Beauty is her name. Hello. A lady 747. Hey, girl. Hey. Listen, Jackson Tabasco, hey, baby, welcome on in. Mons, hello. If y'all don't mind in the chat, can y'all say hello to all the girlies when they come in? Because you already know what I'll be doing. I'm working, grabbing more footage from somewhere, editing something so that I can share different clips here on the topic. We are at the end because I skipped to the end. Dawn Michi DRN, hey, baby. I skipped to the end because we are at the point now where there's a lot going on. Oh my God, there's so much going on with this story. And I now know the reason why she's been telling the story based off of what she dropped down in the chat and told us yesterday. And now that I'm at the end of her, not the end, because baby, she has to now address all the questions and the concerns people have throughout her comments on her TikTok. But now that I'm close to the end, I said I'm going to fast forward now because a lot of the details, although they're important, they're not really important for us. I just want to get to the meat and the potatoes for the sake of the live content. But if you are invested in a story, please, if you are a TikTok user, check out Millie's page so you can get into all of the things. Nola 504, how are you, baby? Juju D, Black Swan, Golden Pearl, hello. So let's go over to the section where we have all of our graphics, baby. Over here, when it comes to the engagement swindler, we definitely need the couch. If you didn't know, Millie is, during this time, she thought she was the only one that left him. Usually he leaves the women, okay? So a lot of people want to know, why is she telling her story like this? Meaning, why aren't you getting to the point? They're comparing her story to how Risa Tisa told her story. So if you don't know, this is what we're talking about. That was an engagement, a proposal at the Tyler, the Creator concert, and it went viral. Oh my God, please tell me y'all can hear me. Jesus. I hope y'all can hear me. No, baby, we are already at the bar. We were down to the bar. Please, please let me know if you can hear me. Because, honey, I don't have it in me for audio issues. Thank you so much, Dawn Michi. I have like 1 ounce of energy when it comes to how exhausted I am. So I'm like, baby, I cannot afford audio issues today. No, we cannot. All right. So that's the engagement that went viral, right? He's at the Tyler Creator. He, as in Byron, Byron who? You know. Byron. He is proposing to his current fiance. She's the fiance now. Her name is Melissa. The video goes viral. Everybody's like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? But this is what happened after that video went viral.
I know the man in this video, and when I met him, he told me his name was Caleb.
Hey yo, I'm here to tell you, if you saw that viral video of that light-skinned nigga with them fake-ass dreads proposing to his lady at the Tyler, the Creator concert in Atlanta, yeah, that nigga's still married.
I am the engagement swindler's wife.
It's our daughter who's crying because she can't say goodbye to these women.
If I told you that I started out the beginning of this year engaged to who I thought was the love of my life, only to find out that he just announced that he's expecting a baby with the bitch that he cheated on me with.
PK Mackey is the ex-friend that exposed Byron after his proposal went viral on the internet. Samantha is the wife, separated for years but still legally married. Paige is one of his ex-fiancés who told her story in 2021 on TikTok and is also Sinbad's the comedian and actor, daughter. Millie is his ex with his youngest child.
Okay, so here we are. Now, for most of you, you're just like, oh, so he's just a low down, dusty, dirty D dog. Yes, he's that plus more. Okay, he's that plus more. Heads up, the word narcissist is going to be used over and over and over again. If you didn't know, it's not because it's a trending topic. It's because Millie is now seeing a therapist. So now that she's retelling her story, that's why she's using a lot of words that are trendy when it comes to being in a toxic relationship. But it's only because she is in therapy with her therapist. So now she's going to make her escape. We do have a playlist going for this situation. Millie finally woke up, y'all. We know she's been sleeping for 2 years. Millie joined us yesterday in the chat. Hey girl, if you are here today, don't worry, baby. I'm gonna be light today. Okay. I'm gonna be decent today, baby doll. But we didn't know towards the end. I wanted to, hey, if this is not Millie, because people be trolling, I had to let it be known. If, hey, baby, it could be her. Maybe it's not. I did verify, and that was Millie. Okay. I have the proof. That is definitely Millie that has been in the chat with us as of yesterday. Okay. She dropped down in the comments the day before yesterday, and she did join us in our chat yesterday. And I feel like she dropped a little bit of tea. Nothing exclusive. She just dropped things that were already said on her TikTok videos. There's a lot of them. Okay, so let's get into a few things first. We're still doing the church announcements, okay? Bear with me. Bear with me.
One, I didn't journal anything after the fact. My therapist told me to, and I started to, but then I had to stop. So this is literally like almost like a video diary for me. It is very healing because as I'm telling you guys these stories and I'm doing it as I go, that way things kind of just pop in my head and I start having like these realizations. And again, like corrective memory. Things are triggering, but it's definitely like helping. It really is. It's definitely helping.
If you need to screenshot if you've been following this or if you're not sure who we are speaking of, here is a list. This is not all. This is just some. I actually know how many kids he has now, and it's 7. Millie believes he has more than 7, but there's just 7 as of right now. He does not have protected sex with anyone. Okay, just wanted to put that out there as well. We knew that when she told her story and told us how they got together. Okay, but he does not wear condoms with anyone, just in case you wanted to know. I just wanted to give you a heads up. First wife is Britt. Britt wants no parts of this internet as of right now. Second wife, she's private. She had to get their marriage annulled because he was still married to Brittany. Third wife is Samantha. He is still married until this day and has been married to Samantha since 2013. They're separated for years. She's been asking him for a divorce. I am not in contact with Samantha. We have played Samantha's videos. I don't know why she's not filing for the divorce. Hopefully, we will find out about that later. And FYI, he kidnapped their daughter. That's the word she used. Okay. Number 4 is Van. He left Samantha for Van. He left Van for Paige, and that was his fiance, wedding date and everything. Guess what? He's still married to Samantha. Sounds like he likes a little bit of bigamy. He's also in another state. So when he was with wife number 2, 1, 2, and 3, I believe he was in Colorado. He moved to California. So now we have Van, Paige, and Millie. Keep in mind, there's more women because he is also a what? Cheater. Okay. So now he is with Millie because he left Paige. He did not propose to Millie because of, she let you know what's going on with that story. But now the viral video that I showed you in the beginning of this live, he's engaged and they're going to get married, I guess, to Melissa. Millie believes that Melissa is actually pregnant. He's been with Melissa for 2 years. Millie has a strong feeling that this lady is pregnant from him right now. So I don't know how he's engaged and he's still married to Samantha since 2013. But what's so crazy is, for those of you who are with me during the Nesto things that we talk about, the way these two stories are so similar, it's actually creepy. Okay, but we're not here to talk about Nesto and his dusty ass. We're here to talk about another dust bucket. So let's get into some things. Let me pull up the video, y'all, so that you can again, we're skipping around. If you didn't know, we will skip around. I'm not in the comments. I do apologize. I have a lot of tabs to work through, so please forgive me, but you know I love y'all down. So let me hit this wide screen and get this on the screen so we can get started, okay? Let me get the chart down. I hope I explained all of that well. Okay, and let's get started. Is this the one I want to play first? Yes. So in this next, come on, catfish, come on, filter. So in this next clip, you're going to see how he is around his daughter, and it's Father's Day. She's excited to give him his gift. I want to see if you're going to catch on, but I do have to close caption so you can pay attention. If you don't catch on, we'll talk about it after it's over.
Other way.
Okay.
Huh?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So baby girl is explaining to him what it is, and he's saying, oh, that's pretty cool. And she's showing him how to open up the card. Okay.
Oh, that's like
Happy Father's Day to most times.
oh, that's oh, that's pretty cool. See,
Yeah.
got a little decorating. That's pretty cool. Oh, Robin's hard.
Yeah, do you like my card choice?
That's pretty cool, man. Which Batman is it? That's the real question.
I don't watch that. That's you.
Cause you're not cool. Is this card from Neo?
So this son of a biscuit says, well, which Batman is it? And she's letting him know she doesn't watch that. And he's like, because you're not cool. Is this card from Neo? Why would you do that to her when you know it's from her? Now you're trying to make her feel a certain type of way. And I didn't like the way he slammed the card down on the table and to dismiss how happy she was for whatever she picked out for her dad. And for him to be like, is this card from Neo? That's very dismissive. And those of us who have multiple children, sometimes children, they may love their siblings, but sometimes it's given, some kids are jealous of their siblings. I'm not saying that this is their situation, but you know what I mean.
Thanks, Neo, for my Batman card.
Lame.
I like it. This is really creative. I like it. What'd you make me?
Not yet.
See, that's what
You ruined it.
you ruin it. You're supposed to take. You're supposed to take.
You ruined my hard work all the time.
Look at this paper. It's so beautifully placed.
Open your
It's so
gift.
beautifully placed.
We have to pay attention to the little things because if you didn't know, Samantha is in the middle of a custody battle with this creep. You ruin my hard work all the time. Well, that is his daughter. He has a daughter. That's the daughter in this video. He already has a daughter. Honey, he has 7 kids. He has boys, girls, cats, and dogs. And when I say cats and dogs, meaning he's probably, he has pets, children. So no, none of that. He doesn't care about any of that. He's been had kids. He just doesn't claim them, take care of them, or pay them any attention. He just has custody of his daughter. And Millie is going to explain how all of that went down as well. I want to definitely make sure I play that video so that you all can get some of the answers to your questions, the hard questions that we've had throughout this series that we've been watching. Okay. And can I say something, baby? He got a lot going on in those shorts. Was the shorts too tight? What's going on? Why do I see all of his Christmas in those shorts? Come on here, sir. Get some clothes on.
Oh my gosh.
It is. What'd you get me? Oh, this is cool. I wanted this in the store. Oh.
No, really?
Yeah. This is cool.
Wow.
Daddy's gonna wear it today because I like this. This is cool.
Can you show the camera what you got?
Yeah,
Oh.
I got it.
Oh, Black Boy Joy from Peanuts.
Only
What was his
Black
name
Peanut.
again?
The only Black Peanut.
What was his name again?
Same
No one
I
knows.
don't know. Armstrong.
Armstrong.
There we go. Yeah. What is this? Swim trunks. Yeah, Daddy needs swim trunks.
Because your DC ones are so.
My Marvel ones?
DC.
Marvel.
It's DC.
Oh, okay.
Happy
This is
Father's
perfect.
Day.
Thank you.
20.
So in the next video, Millie, we're jumping around. And notice how he's very he wants to debate with her because she said DC and he's like Marvel. Lord forbid if you mix up the damn superheroes, okay? I don't know if I'm being petty or not, but I didn't like it, but let's continue. Around. Millie is fed up. She's now a mother. Things are starting to process and she's like, oh, wow, probably some regret. We've been yelling at Millie from day one. So yes, she's now starting to realize, oh my God, because he made the decision to steal money from her stash. Now, for those of us who keep, that emergency fund or that stash under the mattress or in one of our old jackets, an old purse or shoe, you already know what it is. Now, Millie has provided and was providing Byron with a soft life, baby. He was living like a bad bitch. Do you hear me? In the words of P. Mackey. However, don't steal my money. So now we enter into fight or flight and survival mode.
When I confronted him about stealing my money, so we're going to get right into it. So I found out that my stack of $100 bills that I had rolled up is now only $185. He made sure that he put the $100 bill on the outside. So I come out and of the bedroom and I asked him, I said, hey babe, can you come here please? And then close the door. His daughter is on the couch watching TV. And I go, what happened to my money? And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, this was $1,000, $101 bills, and now it's only $185. Where did it go? He was like, I don't know. And I said, but you're the only person that knows where this is. You're the only person that knows about it. I didn't take it. Why would you think that I would take from the family? I said, because no one else knows about it. No one else knows where it's at. And then, mind you, I've practiced several scripts with him, okay, because he's an actor. So he turns his head and he goes, what? You think I like made change and brought it and put it back? And I go, yes, that's exactly what you did. And then he goes, my bills are paid. My credit cards are paid. I wouldn't need the money. And I'm just looking at him because we all know his bills ain't paid. His credit cards aren't paid because I'm paying everything. And I just said, why can't you say you borrowed it? Like, I'm still trying to give him an out, like to take some accountability and be honest. And he just looks at me. He's like, I didn't take the money. Babe, you probably misplaced it. You have mommy brain. You probably moved it. I leave the room. I'm pacing. My heart's racing. My mind is going. And I'm like, oh my God, something's like so wrong. Because this dude literally stole my money. And I'm confronting him about it. And he's lying. He can't even say that he borrowed it. So that happened June 17th, 2023, literally the day before Father's Day. I go into the baby's playroom and I send him this message. You have a serious problem and you're in complete denial about it. You're spitting in my face. And if you want this family to stay together, this shit needs to be fixed immediately. Make an appointment with the therapist. You need to be in therapy to figure out how to get out of this pattern. I'm supposed to be your life partner and you take me for granted. You expect me to do everything and it's not appreciated. Your actions speak volumes and it's bleeping scary. Make your appointments, do the work on yourself. And if you care about creating the family you want, if our family doesn't motivate you, then do it for yourself. And this was his response. I don't expect anything from you actually, but all of this is noted. I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to yell. I'm not even going to be mean about it. I hear everything you're saying. Everything is in all caps. I've reached out to the therapist for the military stuff. I'll see him next week. Have a good day. And then I text back, okay, great. As I get the kids ready to go to Target to get him Father's Day gift. Yes, I was still going to honor him for Father's Day. Yeah, because for the kids. So we go to Target and I'm just like panicky. And his daughter can tell. Kids are like so in tuned. They're so in tuned. And she goes, Camilla, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm fine. And she goes, why are you like rushing? And I told her, I said, no, everything's fine. But we do need to get home. Because I'm sitting here thinking like, oh my God, what if I really did move it? What if I just accused him and he didn't take the money, right? So I'm like, I need to go home and I need to find it.
So as far as the therapists, they were going to couple therapy. And now, so if you didn't know, like, well, wait, where did the therapist come from? They're going to couples therapy. Obviously, she's paying for it. Or I don't know, maybe he's paying for it because he does have insurance through the military. So I'm not sure how this works when it comes to who was paying for the couple therapy. I don't know, but they were going and actually getting some things done as far as like working on communication. And she said it was actually working, but we all know how that turned out. All right. So now it's time for individual sessions. Okay. So here's the rest of it.
So we get home. Before I had her pick out her own card for him that she wanted. And then we picked out a card for Neo. So we get home and I'm tearing up the room. I took out all of my clothes out of the drawer and I'm folding them back up. And as I'm folding my clothes back up, he steps Byron comes, he steps over me, goes to the bed on his side, grabs something, steps back over me and leaves and goes out the door. Not once did he ask me if I found the money or if I need help finding it. And I'm just like upset. I'm in my closet, taking out all of my shoes out of my the shoe containers. And I'm like looking in the soles and dumping it. And I'm like, because I'm thinking, like, maybe I did move it. I do maybe remember thinking that I should move it. Maybe I put it in one of my shoes. Of course, I didn't find it.
Now, you know, she thought she was going crazy because, baby, how did you put it in your shoes or moved it when you said that you had 10 $100 bills and you went to the spot, baby, and he took the $100 bill and 85. First and foremost, for your raggedy ass to steal from me and have the nerve to leave me some change is crazy. Why would you put $85 in here when we had 10 $100 bills? Now, you know that's insane. That right there tells you what you need to know. You know, that's something a child would do. If you're going to steal, at least roll up that first $100 bill and put some damn Monopoly money or some paper. What was the $85 all about? You may as well spend that as well, because you know we didn't have any 20s or any fives or ones in this rolled up stash of money. So right there, I'm like, come on now.
And that's the moment where I was like, oh my God, Samantha was right about everything. So I contact the therapist and I text him and I'm like, I need an emergency session. I need an emergency session, even if it's over the phone. And then I told him what happened, you know, that he stole my money and he lied to my face about it. And then I go, I think he's a narcissist. And that's the moment where I remembered everything that Samantha had said. And that's what's important too, because even though we may warn somebody about whatever, and they may not listen, but the fact that you warn them, it's there. It's there in the back of their head. It's there. So when things start to come up, what you talked about will start to come out and we'll start to remember. So even though it doesn't happen right then and there, it will happen eventually. Warning someone, no matter whether they take your 2 cents or not, is totally like, you need to do it because it can save them. Because I would have had no idea what I was dealing with. No idea if she hadn't messaged me. I would have been so confused. So that's the moment when I realized that everything that Samantha said was right.
Okay, so there are videos where Millie does get into how she grew up, the things that she went through as a child and a teenager, you know, a little bit of trauma, nothing crazy, but at the same time, things that, you know, if you don't unlearn, here's the thing. Sometimes if we don't break a generational curse, or if we don't break bad habits, if we don't unlearn the things that are not beneficial to us when we grow up and do our own adulting, you might be, you know, hey, you know, it just depends on your situation. So let's go back to, we're going to now jump to the escape plan, but we're actually jumping all the way up and to the point where she is leaving him. Because at this point in time, we already know what's going on. How many times can we want to shake the shit out of Millie? How many times are we going to say, now, girl, I know you lying. Just know that he is a real piece of work. And unfortunately, she fell for it like the rest of these women fell for it. Okay, this is what they do. Now, I want to show you all this commercial. She shared this as well. Does anybody remember this commercial? I did take out the music, but, well, her mom's been warning her about this man, been warning her. And the video that I didn't get a chance to upload, when she called her therapist, when it was time for her to get her escape plan, there were certain steps she had to take. And the therapist did help her with that so that she didn't put herself in danger. But she called her mom because remember, she was not talking or speaking to her mom. And she called her mom and said, Mom, I need your help. I need to leave Byron. So I am going to end up playing that, but we're just going to jump right to when she left. Now, let me show you something really quick. Does anybody remember this commercial? Because when she played this commercial, I was just like, I remember this. And guess who's starring in it? Byron. But there's no music or no, there's no song or anything. I had to cut that part out. Does anybody remember this commercial? I don't know if you can see him or not, or y'all let me know. I remember that commercial. I don't know. No, but El Cid says she remembers this commercial as well. He told her that that commercial was a free gig. He didn't get paid for it. So this is how much lying and carrying on he does. All right. He did not get paid for that commercial, you guys. Imagine you see your dad, putting on a good old funky show in the commercial, being this daddy that this little girl loves, and you won't even hug your daughter, let alone say, I love you back. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Okay. No, at this time, she can't do that because they have custody. He has custody. So at this time, she could not take the daughter back to Samantha. There is an active court order she's going to get into why she could not, her hands were tied. Although she helped pay for the lawyer, she's going to explain everything to the best of her ability, because it is still a the case is still, everything is active and open still. She's still fighting. And yes, Elsie. So she got to put a plan together and some. Yes, but again, if you got to refer back to her dropping into the chat and dropping the nuggets into the Blues Clues, if you will, into the chat yesterday. But I'm going to tie all of that together for y'all after the not the escape plan, after she left. And I'm going to play a video that she shared so that she can answer all of the tough questions about, now, what are you going to do, or what happened, or why would you help him get custody of his daughter? Now you're leaving. What the hell is going on? We'll get into all of that when we play one of these videos. Okay. So no, he didn't get paid. Baby. He said he didn't get no. He said it was free. It was a free gig. Is that not terrible? Can you imagine? Like, oh God. I don't know. Well, yeah, but we'll get into that. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me try to get my screen up real quick. Hello, everybody that's stepping in the room. I think I didn't got to the point where there's a few of y'all that, honey, if I even attempt to say hello, I'm gonna miss somebody's name at this point. I'm that behind on the actual chat and comments, and I do apologize. So we did clip number 1, Millie Start part 27. Did we do that? Yeah, we watched that yesterday. So this is the escape. So we are now jumping ahead. I apologize, but we're going to jump ahead and get into the escape. Oh, I forgot I had an intro to the video, so I'm sorry. Listen, baby. Hold on. Is it here? Do I see it? Okay. I'm like, hold on. I already gave y'all an intro, but there's also an intro on the video. So we are now at a point in the story where Millie is now in survival mode. And you all know, regardless of how stupid you've been or whatever decision you made when it comes to a man, baby, once you enter survival mode, you already know what it is. So let's get into it.
If you guys haven't already discovered, Byron has made a fake account. And if you notice, he's only targeting one person. And just like she said, Samantha, in her videos, that he's used her as a punching bag all these years. And they've been married since 2013. So he's trying to silence us, and that's not going to happen. And the only reason why he would be lashing out is because he's unraveling and things aren't going his way. My escape plan. So we're supposed to be going to San Diego for the weekend, and we're also staying the night. At this time, we also had already started packing up the house. So we agreed that we're going to pack up the house, and his daughter's packing up her things. I packed up majority of my stuff, especially the things that I absolutely.
Why are they packing up the house? Millie came up with a plan. She's been asking this man to work, letting him know things are getting crazy, business is slowing down. She needs him to work. She needs him to make sure he's paying half of the rent as well as paying for half of that car note. Of course, he has yet to do it. So what Millie decided to do was say, hey, we can no longer afford to live here. We can't afford to live here. We have to move. She purposely looked at apartments that she said she would never live in, but she did it anyway, and let him know that they have a certain, I guess there was a certain amount of time or whatever they had, and they had to be out of there. She spoke with the leasing office and sort of had them in on the plan and asked them not to disclose certain things. And she's making it seem like they're about to move because they can no longer afford the apartment that they're currently in. She also said that he recommended to her to take out this business loan to pay all of the bills, child. Now, you know, she didn't like that. No, she didn't. So they're packing up the apartment, and he thinks they have to now move into another apartment that they can afford. But at the same time, Millie slipped up, not realizing he was watching everything, and he was sort of catching on to what she was planning. Okay. I think that he probably had the house bugged, had probably spyware all over the place, but let's get into it. I just wanted to sort of like summarize, how did we get here? But that was part of her escape plan. And she's also taking steps in a certain order, and she's getting all of this from her therapist on what she needs to do so that she's remaining safe as far as, herself.
Want. And I labeled them a certain way, let my family know. I didn't tape all the boxes up. Some of them I left open, just so he wouldn't get too suspicious. Because again, like, he's been moving like this for a long time. So he knows what it looks like when someone's about to make an exit, because he does it himself. So my sister was going to stay at our house to watch Baloo, and it worked out perfectly.
So Millie lets us know that he actually brings his iPad and his computer on this San Diego trip. And she lets us know that he charged $2,000, a $2,000 iPad and the latest iPhone with the highest amount of storage onto her Verizon wireless account.
So I thought that was odd. I'm like, why would he be taking his computer and his iPad? Because he knew what was happening. He knew what's up. He's like he's making sure that nobody can see what he's been up to. And at this time, of course, he already changed all his passwords. So I could have hired like someone to hack into it, but I didn't do that. So we're in San Diego, and it's just nerve-wracking. We're all, me, him, and his daughter, in a hotel with just 2 beds. And again, he's like removed. He has an attitude. He's distant. And one night he ended up going.
Also, she is no longer intimate with him. I believe it's been about 6 months since she slept with him. She removed that from him as well. And she wanted to make sure that she took the daughter on different activities and wanted to make sure that she had fun before she went back to school, because she knew that she had to get away from him. She does have a reason to be afraid of him. So yes, that is why she wanted to make sure everything that was done, she planned it. You know, she had to be careful is all I'll say. He was dropping little hints, reminding her of his military background. If you want to put 2 and 2 together, letting her know that he knows what to do with those weapons, pretty much in a nutshell. In, a nonchalant type of way, but what we're dealing with at the same time. Okay, so.
Going to the gym. And because the gym at the hotel was closed, they had you go to this like MMA gym across the street. So he gets back and he goes, yeah, that was just a great workout. I'm like, oh, he's like, yeah, it was a great workout. And, we were boxing and I took him out. And I said, you took who out? He was like, I took him out. He's like, I put him in a chokehold and he was laid out on the floor. Mind you, he's panicky. So all of the things that he's saying are getting even more crazier. So he's like, I took him out and I laid him out on the floor. And I'm like, Byron, you can't do that. You cannot lay someone out on the floor at an MMA gym. What are you talking about? He was like, you forget who I am. You forget who I am. And mind you, his daughter is sitting on the bed too, right? And I said, well, who are you? And he said, I'm a trained killer. And his daughter and I looked at each other. And all I can think was, oh my God, thank the Lord. I'm about to be done with this guy in a couple of days. Like, oh, wow. Okay.
So Millie is now telling us she's, of course, preparing. The school year is going to start soon. She wants to make sure that his daughter has her uniforms for school. She made sure she had a new pair of shoes. She also made sure that she did stockpile on some of the hair products that she's been using, because she taught her how to do her own hair, because Millie is planning her escape. And remember, he has custody. She does not have legal rights to take the baby with her, unfortunately.
So, his daughter's having fun. We're having a good time. But of course, I'm like nervous. And I'm checking in with my family, making sure that they're getting everything they're supposed to be getting. Because again, I think we're all nervous. He didn't like the fact that he couldn't see what was happening in the house. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe the internet went out, because they had disconnected it. And so he had called my sister and he called on a spoof number. Because she ends up calling me and she was like, Byron just called me on a spoof number. And was asking her, like, is everything okay? Like, the internet is down. And so she was like, I just told him I know I wasn't at the house. At this point in time, she has no relationship with Samantha whatsoever. They just started talking after she left him and not right after. Okay, so there's no relationship with Samantha at all. Samantha does not live in the same state as them. We just have to wait to see if Samantha is going to share with us more insight to put this story together. We only have a little bit from her so far. She's not an internet person. We see how she, it gets her anxiety going. She's going to fidget and she has to work herself up in order to get on camera and tell us what's going on. So I just wanted to put that out there as well. I want to take a pause and I do apologize for the delay. Welcome, AKPOV. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hugs and kisses to you, baby. A shimmy and a shake. Pull in a little closer. Period. Welcome back to the Dollhouse membership. Make sure you drop your emojis, baby doll. Okay, and let me give you a little cute razzle and a dazzle. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Also, welcome in to all the dolls. I do apologize if I'm not addressing you personally by your name, but if you have been with us for the past few days, you already know I got a lot of stuff I'm locking and loading into StreamYard for this live. Thank you so much, love, for rejoining us. Okay, so let's get back. Let's get back into some things. All right. Oh, wait, hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. I didn't, I have to go back over to that section of my screen and put her back up here.
But actually, before she had told me that, he asked me, he's like, "Oh, is she at the house?" And I'm like, "Mm-mm." And so she's like, "Yeah, no, I told him that I wasn't at the house and that I'd be back later." So it ended up aligning. But he could tell because I'd be off spacing out in deep thought. And he's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Nothing." He knew. He was like, because he kept making these comments about suspicious activity and basically that he can tell that something's happening. Sure that we get back late enough, right, to give my family enough time to move out all of my things, me and the baby's things. And everything in the house is mine. Literally, I bought everything. He just had a couple of pans that he bought. He had a desk that he bought, and like his chair, like the stuff in the office is his. But other than that, literally every single thing is mine. And let me backtrack. As we're like packing up the things into the boxes, he's supposed to be taking down the bed because I have this big bed that I got from Living Spaces, and I've had it for I don't even know how many years, way before I met him. And it's a really nice bed. And so he actually broke the bed by pulling the pieces apart. Like he literally pulled the wood apart, and he ended up bruising his thumb. And he was like, "Yeah, the bed broke." And when he had called and told me that, I was like, "What? How could the bed break?" He was like, "I told you, we've been moving a couple of times, that bed was going to give out." And I'm like, "No, the bed was not going to give out. It's a really nice bed." Even when we moved into that new apartment, when we got his daughter so that we had enough room for everybody, the couch is an L shaped and the lounger is on the side to where it's closest to the patio door. So it's kind of hard to like get to get outside. And he wanted to get a new couch. And I was like, "Are you serious? I just bought that couch and I'm still paying on it. Like, we're not getting a new couch." So I got upset at that. And I told him, I'm not buying any more furniture. If you want furniture, you're gonna have to buy it. But I'm not buying any more furniture. You just want to throw things away. He literally like doesn't care about anything because he knows it's not gonna last. And he disrespects your things. Like we're at SeaWorld, and after that we end up going out to dinner. And let me see, he's still vegan at the time, and his daughter's not feeling that well. And so I think I got her something. Yes, she wasn't feeling that well for a couple of days, so I had ended up getting her some medicine. And we were like at BJ's in San Diego on our way back, and I squeezed her hand. She couldn't even eat her food, but I squeezed her hand and told her that I loved her. And she was like, "I love you too." Because he was sitting, it was like him, me, and then her. She was sitting next to me because we were like on these bar stools outside and like at the fire pit. And we're really spaced out. So of course I paid for the meal. And I'm just like feeling so bad. And I'm just trying to, in my head, think about what am I going to say to her? Because I was told that the best thing to do is to tell her the truth. And kids need to know the truth. They need to know exactly what's happening because she's been seeing these things for years. And that way it could help her at least like process, because it's going to be traumatic, because here yet is another woman leaving. So his daughter and I get in the car, and he always has to pee before he goes anywhere, before he leaves the house, before, we hit the road. And he ended up going back into the restaurant to use the bathroom. And I was thinking like, oh my God, I could just like take off right now. Like I literally can just leave him stranded in San Diego. and take off. Like, this is what I want to do so bad. But the advice was that if I wanted to stay alive, not to do that. From several people, they told me that. They're like, nah, don't leave him there. Like, if you want to set him off, that's going to set him off. If you leave him there, and just bring him back. I'm like, oh my God, okay. I don't want to bring him back because I want enough time to leave, because I'm not going to go into the apartment because there's nothing in there. But my parents have the baby, so I don't have to. That way I can be like, oh, I'm going to go pick up, the baby. So we're driving home, and at this time, my family had already texted me. They texted me like at 8 that they were done. And I'm like, okay, cool. They already had taken Baloo, and he was staying at my uncle's house because I also have to rehome Baloo. And I've been trying, but my uncle agreed that he would keep him for me. So his daughter was like, Daddy, what song makes you think of Camille? And he said, Poison. He said, Poison. And again, he's making these little snarky remarks. Backing up, when we were leaving SeaWorld, his daughter had made a comment about a family that happened to be white, and she was making fun of them. And so I was like, don't do that. And she's like, why? Daddy does it. I said, yeah, and it's not okay. I'm like, you do know that you're half white, right? Like, you are half white, you are half Black. Yes, you're considered a Black woman, but that is a part of you, and your mom's white. Like, you shouldn't be making fun of white people. It's not okay. Because you know what he's teaching her? Self-hate. That's what he's teaching her. Don't have her be making fun of her own people. And he wants her to be against her mom. During that trip? It was another trip that we took to San Diego with the kids. It was during her spring break. I made sure that we went places, while she was on spring break, and we did a lot of family stuff. I love doing family outings. And he basically had called her smart and stupid in the same sentence. She was so upset. Like, I just keep thinking about all these things that he had been doing to her this entire time, and how that's stress. That's stressful. That's stressful. Like, you just want your dad's love. That's all she wants, is her dad's love. He had barely been around after he up and left Colorado. Like, he had barely been around. And only see her a couple times a year. Anytime that he saw her, anytime he flew down to Colorado, it was someone else paying for his flight. Like, Paige paid for his flight to fly down there to see his daughter. I paid for his flights to go down there and see her. He's like, I want to surprise her. And so
they have custody of the daughter, the mom. They have a court order. The mom cannot see her, as far as no, they can't just drop her off. There's things that can't be said because there is an active court case. And yes, she's still fighting, but the video after this is going to give somewhat of comfort, not comfort, but it's going to answer some of your burning questions after this video. And it's going to piss some of y'all off as well. So it's going to answer questions, but some of y'all are also going to be pissed off. But we'll wait until after this. I'm kind of working out of order.
So he would videotape it. Anytime that he's done spend time with her and he's videotaped it, that's the only time that he would saw her, maybe that year. Love bombing his daughter as well. Someone else had made a comment saying that he's doing the same thing to her. And yes, that is what he does. He deprives her, and she's craving it, of love and affection from her dad, and then he gives it to her when it's convenient for him. And so that's how he I think has kept her that's how he's kept her deceived and being able to play with her mind and warping the reality, constantly warping her reality. She doesn't know what's real. I'm to the point where the things that she has said that don't add up, she probably believes. And that's sad. So we get to the apartment at 10. Mind you, it's...
I don't know if you got that part, so I'm going to take it back a little bit. Remember, she has to say things a certain way.
And that don't add up. Deceived, and being able to play with her mind and warping the reality. And she's craving it, of like love and affection from her dad, and then he gives it to her when it's convenient for him. And so that's how he I think has kept her that's how he's kept her deceived, and being able to play with her mind and warping the reality, constantly warping her reality. She doesn't know what's real. I'm to the point where the things that she has said that don't add up, she probably believes.
The things that she has said are now starting to add up, and she's afraid that the little girl believes it. Millie is now at the end of this. So during all of this, before the custody, during the custody, and now that she has to escape from this, she's starting to realize that it's a possibility that everything that's been happening probably has something to do with his manipulation with his daughter. I assume. This is me speculating, but at the same time, I'm not.
And that's sad. So we get to the apartment at 10. Mind you, it's been 2 hours, and my family's watching me because they can see me on Find My Friends, so they can tell like where we're at. And all I can think about is, what am I going to say to her? Am I going to let her out of this car? And I couldn't, so I locked the back door with the child lock. And then I needed that iPad because I'm not about to let you keep that iPad. I'm not going to keep paying for that. Because it was a $2,000, like $22,000 iPad. So he gets out of the car and stretches. And then he goes, babe, pop the trunk. Now, I could have taken the iPad when we were at Sesame Place, but then I was worried. I'm like, what if he pulls it out and then he realizes it's not there? So I was like, I'll just have to wait till the end because I just don't want anything to happen with my plans, because that would be obviously super suspicious. So he goes, babe, pop the trunk. So his daughter's trying to get out of the car, and I'm like waiting for him to close the door. So he closes the door to the car, and I peel off. And leave him back there on the corner. And I also wrote a letter that I left for him because I'm like, I don't want her in the house when he reads the letter that I left, which I will read to you guys. And I don't want her to walk in to the house with it empty like that. Like, I need to tell her what's happening. So I peel off. He's looking like, where are you going? And then she goes, Camille, I think Daddy wanted you to open up the trunk like you left him. So then I'm like, I tell his daughter, I say, I'm leaving Daddy, and I'm crying at this point. And she's like, what? I'm like, I'm leaving Daddy, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but I have to leave him. I'm like, I can't stand to be around him. Like, this isn't working. He's not who I thought he was. I can't stay. Like, I have to go. And I went just around the corner of the apartment complex and parked and sat and just talked with her so we could just discuss. And she was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. And she's rocking in the back. And she's like, I can't believe this is happening. And I'm like, I know, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know, like,
Now, this may trigger some of you because now that I'm invested into the story, I got mad at Millie again because legally, no, there's nothing she could do with that baby. It was recommended because of her it was recommended. The daughter was seeing a therapist. Millie was seeing a therapist. They told her not to just go ghost on her and to tell the daughter the truth. They told her to tell the daughter the truth and what was going on. So that's what she did. She told her the truth, but unfortunately she couldn't do it in front of him. Like I said, this is going to be an emotional roller coaster, especially if you wear your heart on your sleeve, especially if you're a mother. So, you're probably going to get mad at Millie. And I was upset with Millie again because I'm like, but at the same time, I'm like, legally, there's nothing she can even do. But it's just like, but we're here because of you, Millie. So, yeah. Yeah, I think once I seen the next video that I'm going to play after that, I sort of simmered down, but in my head, I was just like, no, 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 no. But everything she's doing was instructed by a professional, is what I'm trying to say. Because keep in mind, she's trying to keep herself safe at this time before she spoke to anybody outside of the list that I've been showing you all. She is the only one to leave him. Everybody else, he left. So this is a game changer for him. Let me hit the play button.
I just can't stay. She's like, I don't want you to leave. And I'm like, I know, but I can't stay though. I'm so sorry. Like, I can't stay. And she's like, can I come with you? And I'm like, no, you can't, because
I believe she's 12, you guys. I don't know if I'm right on that. I know she wasn't 13 yet. So I want to say 12 is the age. I also want to go back to Samantha's story really quick. If you haven't been watching, and if you don't know who Samantha is, that is his daughter's mother. That is his current wife. He's been married to her since 2013. Samantha did mention in her video that there were mistakes made and she worked on that. Okay. So just please have that in your mind when you're thinking about how did he get custody. Samantha said that, but Samantha's not finished telling her story because she can't really, she's going through a lot. This is the first time Samantha ever fought when it comes to Byron and this situation. She never fought him. So this is the first time she's finally standing up to Byron via her TikTok videos because she's coming out and exposing actually what's going on. A lot of you yesterday and the day before, I seen some of you say, well, wait a minute, because usually with a white woman, they have white privilege. And I'm just keeping it real and honest. This is what it is. We know this is the case. As Black women, we know that there is a such thing as white privilege, especially when it comes to the courthouse. And I believe I said yesterday, and this was before Millie even came in the chat, I believe I said yesterday, well, obviously there is something and some reason why he won custody. Okay, but again, I don't know exactly what it is. We have to read in between the lines. So there is a reason why this white woman has lost custody to this man, a Black man, and we just have to read between the lines because, like I said, this is an active case. And yes, Millie did pay for the lawyer for him to get his daughter. But other than that, we can't say but so much until I guess everything comes out is what I'm trying to say. All right. So
I would totally take you, but I can't because you're not legally mine. So it'd be considered kidnapping. Like, I can't do that. Like, you're gonna have to stay with him. And she just, started crying And I'm like, I need you to tell me, like, all these things that you're saying, like, they're just not adding up. They're just not adding up. Like, you know, are they true? And she was like, yeah, but I know all the things that she said aren't. I don't know what conversations that he's had to where he's had her telling like these gnarly stories that just like don't add up. And because then I was like, I want to call her mom. I want to call Samantha. Like, that's who she needs to go. That's what needs to happen. Like, I need to call her mom so that her mom knows what's happening. I'm like, where she needs to go, like, live with her grandmother, maybe. Because I'm thinking, like, how is he going to support her? He has no money. He has absolutely no money, but they're, you know, in a case. So I'm like, maybe you can stay with your nana. And she goes, yeah, can you call her? Can you call my nana? And so I call his mom. And I'm like, I left Byron. And she was like,
now get into the mother with her raggedy ass. So she calls the mother because she still does not want the little girl to go into that apartment when he's about to unravel. So she's trying to find a place for her to go because she has to escape right now. So get into the mother, y'all.
like, what? I'm like, yeah, I left him. And she goes, I knew something was wrong. I knew something was wrong in Hawaii. I say, yeah, he's telling people that I'm cheating on him. I'm like, I have never cheated. And she goes, I know, he told me that a month ago. So I think when he was unplugging the baby monitor and having all these conversations, and then he was going outside and pacing and having conversations, he's doing a smear campaign and telling people that I'm cheating on him. So this is August the 11th or 12th when this happened. August 11th or 12th of 2023. So she's like, yeah, he told me that a month ago, but any man that claims that a woman is cheating on him, it's because he's the one that's cheating. That's what she said to me. And she was like, I told him that he is not made for relationships, that he just needs to date and move on because he's not made to be with people. Me and his brother told him that he needs to get a vasectomy because he keeps having all of these kids and has no intentions of being in their lives. And I was like, what? And I should have said, well, how many kids does he have? But I didn't think to say that. And then his daughter was like, oh my God, my mom was right. She told me that he had.
Remember, she still didn't know how many children he actually had. He only talks about the daughter, which he has custody of. He has the son now with Millie here on the screen. And there's somebody tattooed on his arm, which is another daughter or a son. And he told her that it was not his child. So she doesn't know about these 7 kids right now during the escape, just to let y'all know.
These kids and these people tatted on his arm. He's telling me that they're just like relatives. And she was like, and I remember a redheaded woman. I'm like, a redheaded woman? She was like, yeah. When we were living in Colorado, I remember a redheaded woman. And I didn't think to say that. And then his daughter was like, oh my God, my mom was right. She told me that he had these kids and these people tatted on his arm. He's telling me that they're just like relatives. And she was like, and I remember a redheaded woman. I'm like, a redheaded woman? She was like, yeah. When we were living in Colorado, I remember a redheaded woman. And I had asked him about her and he told me I was dreaming. And I told her, I said, that's called gaslighting. That's called gaslighting. I said, that's like you're telling him that the sky is blue and he keeps trying to convince you that it's purple. I'm like, you were right. What you saw is what you saw. That was hard. So I told his mom, I said, I can't let her walk in there. I can't. And I left him a letter. I need him to cool off. Like, I don't want her in there when he's pissed. Because we brought back some of his things because of that apartment that he had. And so we brought back like a dresser and a mattress for him. So he would at least have something to sleep on. And I bought his daughter all of her bedding, all of like her bed, her dresser, and I left her like a little dresser because I told his mom, I said, I need to take her somewhere. Like, I just don't want her to see. And she was like, take her to my sister's house. So I drive her to her great aunt's house. And he's blowing up my phone. Of course I'm not answering. I'm not about to answer the phone. He's blowing it up. Then he's texting me. I'll share all this stuff with you guys. He's texting me like he got evidence. And I'll show you what evidence he has because he sent it all to me. So I will attach that. So I drop off. And again, like I still have his things from when we were traveling, when we were on vacation. And he's really concerned about his things that I have in the back of the car. And he's like, I need you to, bring me back my daughter, and I need my things. And so I asked his mom, I'm like, can you call him and just let him know that I'm going to take her to, her aunt's house? And she was like, yeah, I'll call him. So she calls him. I make it to the aunt's house. I'm taking his things out of the car, and she goes, don't leave that here. I'm like, this is why she was so standoffish. She didn't want to, this is what I think, because I like her. And I'm like, I think that she came off so standoffish. It could just be her personality. But
now, when auntie don't want nothing to do with nephew or niece, something's wrong. She told Millie, do not leave his bags there. I'll take the daughter, but don't you leave his shit over here. I don't even want to see him, is what it's given. Okay. She wanted to make sure the daughter was safe while he was cooling down on her exit and on her way out. Now, in case I don't play all of those parts, she did end up blocking him from contacting her. And Millie did everything she needed to do during the steps that she had to take when it comes to this man. So she did stop with the texting. She moved over to email, and all is well. Okay, she ain't heard from him. And keep in mind, I told y'all, he is with his current fiance, and it's been 2 years. He's been with her for 2 years. So remember, I told y'all, he always does what? He's always with somebody, and he has one in the chamber. She left him August of 2023.
But deep down, I'm like, she's really cool. And so I'm like, because she knows how he operates. So she wasn't about to get close. And a weird thing happened so his cousin's baby is only a month younger than Neo. And they had a 1-year party. And we went to it. And his cousin's girl was really nice and and she was like talking to me when we went to her baby shower, and I was pregnant at the same time. And when we went to the 1-year-old, well, that was at her baby shower when I was pregnant at the same time as her. But then when we went to the birthday party, when the baby turned 1, she would not look at me. She would not talk to me. And I'm like, why is she acting like that? And his cousin's like looking at him a certain way. I felt it was just odd. And I'm thinking, like, does something happen? Because they're acting weird. But I didn't go up and approach her because she literally just walked right past me, not look at me, not look at him. And she looked like she was upset. But her mom came and talked to me. Her mom was really nice. But I just couldn't figure out what was wrong. And I had asked Byron, I'm like, did you notice? Like, she didn't say anything. Did she say something to you? And he was like, I don't know, but they know something. And then I'm thinking about when we were living in the apartment, the neighbor, I was in the elevator with her, and her energy was just off. She used to be so nice and talk to me, and she could barely look at me. And I noticed that, and I'm like, what's going on with her? And actually, when I was planning on leaving, I kind of wanted to talk to her and ask her if she knew something. I figured he was messing around with somebody in the apartment, because that's what he's done before in other relationships. So that's what I figured what was happening. And she's lived there for a long time. So, you know, they probably know something that I don't know. I never found out, but definitely something happened, because both people are just acting weird. So his mom calls me and she's like, you better hurry up and get out of there, because he's on his way. He was on his way to your parents' house, thinking that that's where you guys were at. And I'm thinking, how did he get a ride? He's resourceful. How did he get a ride? And then I forgot, oh yeah, he has a cousin that lives close by. A cousin that I've never met, mind you, ever. Even had said, bring your cousin to the birthday party. And he didn't want to invite him.
Now, speaking of this cousin, you let me tell it, honey. Let me get him up here on the screen. Now, speaking of the cousin, allegedly, if you let me tell it, and you know, baby, I've been giving out a bad opinion since 1978. But that cousin, because if it's your cousin, why can't Cousin Pete come to the birthday party or the baby shower or anything that we're having? Cousin Pete might be a boy toy. I don't know. I'm just saying. Let me tell it. That's what it's giving. And just to take a little break, if you need to know, well, who the hell is this Byron and why did he? I'm just going to give you a little, you know, video of how he was with Millie. Okay. I think we do need to play that. All right. So let's get into that. Where is it?
I'm still pacing, y'all. Still pacing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some like stupidish that he used to do. So you guys can kind of see like how his personality is, why he's like so charming and all that stuff. Just some random things when we first started dating. Yeah, just so you guys get a little window of like, who is Byron Hopkins? Man, Byron, you wanted to be famous, sir. Look at, talk about the red carpet. We finna have a red carpet, all right. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I am so, yeah. Yes. In due time. Yes. Enjoy, y'all.
We're in the snow. You can't even see her. Look at that. We're in the snow. It's beautiful down here, though. We in the snow. It's snowing. Wow. Got the Mandalorian in there. Woo, it's cold. Oh, damn! I'm doing a video. I can't just take a picture. It won't capture all of this. Damn, girl. Shit. Okay. Someone to get, someone to share. Lonely hour here, there, to be loved. Oh, what a feeling to be loved.
I'm a lightweight here.
You can't finish that one glass of wine? Finish that one glass of wine. Oh, you gotta take it back? Oh, look at her. This is one glass, guys. This is one glass. Just one. Just one. Come on. Do. Hey.
So I'm surprising my baby just because. We're in West Hollywood.
Our large dad.
Yeah. Baby.
I'm gonna be on one of these times.
So that's where we're going, to Pantages. And what is playing?
Oh, you got Hamilton tickets? For real?
Yes.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
He knows all the songs. He plays the soundtrack in the car and I have to listen to it.
Ready for me to sing every song?
He knows every
loudly?
song, every word.
Loudly?
Loves Hamilton. So I managed to snag some tickets.
How?
Because it's going to be done touring
Oh,
within
you're
a
the
couple
best.
of days.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
I'm
the
the best. Look at that. Oh, me?
Yes.
I'm the
singing
best
every
thing?
song so loud. So loud.
I love you.
I love you. What's going on, bro?
Did y'all peep the voice change when he was walking past the guy? What's going on, bro? What's going on, bro? Did y'all notice the quick personality change when he was greeting the brother? When he was, when the player with one of those 10 good players was walking by? My God, on today. All right, so I just wanted to play that really quick. Let's get back into what Millie is telling us. Remember, she's on her way out. No, she's already left him, but she's letting us know, what happened.
At all. So I've never met this cousin. He's talked about him, but so he was on his way to come get her, and I hugged her and I left her my number. And I was like, if something happens, if you need anything, like, you can text me, like, but she doesn't have a phone. He said he was going to get her phone, never got her phone. The phone that she had, that her mom had given her, he turned off and never gave it to her because he doesn't want her to talk to her family. She's even asked, she asked me, she was like, Camilla, can you ask Daddy if I can call my brother? Because I miss him so much. And I was like, I'm sorry, but he's not going to let you do that. I can already let you know he's not going to let you do that. Maybe you can talk to him on one of the calls with your mom, but he's not going to let you call him. So he isolated her completely isolated her. She has nobody. All of her friends, her aunt, she has an uncle, like, she wasn't able to talk to anybody the whole time that she was with us. And he wasn't about to let her either. And I didn't want to violate that, because I don't really know what's happening or what happened. I just know things aren't as they seem. That's all I know. And so I made the best decision that I could at the time with the information that I had. And, and then of course I regretted it. Well, I didn't regret it. I just knew that she shouldn't have been completely removed and isolated from her mother, not allowing her to build a relationship. So, because if whatever she was saying was true, I needed to remove her from that. But there's both sides, and I just knew like towards the end that a lot of the stuff that was said wasn't accurate. And I didn't know who he was. Obviously, if I knew the type of person he was, I wouldn't have done that and helped him get her like that. But I mean, there's nothing that I can do about it. I just did what was right at the time with the information that I had. Goodness. So I'm gonna I have my receipts of the letter that I wrote him, his response, the messages that he sent me a video too. That was crazy. He was blowing up my phone, wanting his things. So I went back to the apartment because I know that he's not there, and I left them underneath the stairwell in the entrance and peaced out. So me and the baby had to move in with my parents, and we had to live there for a year. because I mean, I left him right before I had like literally nothing left. The other women that he's with, they left him with nothing. One of them, she had $20 to her name by the time he was done with her. Samantha, major debt, and repossessions and things like that because of him. I mean, I almost lost my business. I almost lost everything. I went from being cool, like, to just so many things happening. I even cried one time and asked him, I'm like, is God punishing me? Am I being punished because we're living in sin? He goes, never say that. Never say that. I'm like, yeah, you're the devil. Like, yeah, nothing good is coming out of this relationship. My interactions with you, nothing is good coming. I mean, you're supposed to add to my life, not take away. All he does is suck everything out of you financially, emotionally, physically, where you literally have nothing for yourself. And I'm just like, I have to get out of this before I have nothing, because I have a baby that I have to take care of, you know, and parents can't keep watching him for free. Not when they have, things that they need to do and they're sacrificing working to watch him, like I have to compensate for that. So yeah, I was gonna have to start all the way, like start over. I'm just like, how did I get myself into that? But I'm just glad that I didn't lose everything. Like I didn't mess up my credit. I just have like debt. So.
That store is moving all of 90% of your stuff in. Just cussed me out for no reason. Another reason why I don't trust you, you gave me a fake text message right now. All of this stuff I already know. Already know all of this stuff. Already kind of know what your plans are. I know the checkers moves that you're making. I'm still not going to be mean to you. I'm still not going to hate you after this. I know all of your moves, all of them. All the plans you have with your sister, all the plans you have with your mom, everything. There's always a way to find things out. I'm not going to tell you how I know. One was your watch. Changed your password for your watch. But there's so many other ways. But it's just like, why is it necessary? Why is it necessary? I don't think any of it's necessary. But don't trust or believe a lot, especially during this move. So there are apartment contingency plans in play, unfortunately, because of you. But hopefully I don't have to use them. Hopefully I don't have to play this video. But I feel like I might. But we'll see. We'll see how everything goes. You just sent me the fakest text message. Oh my God, that was fake. That wasn't even good acting. I'm an actor. That wasn't even good acting. Okay. I'm gonna move all of this stuff. So mean. Just aggressively mean. And you'll never see it because you don't care. You'll see it for the next person because you might care, but it's very aggressive. Okay.
He's very calculated and careful what he says on video or how he he watches himself carefully, of course, because, we already know what he is and what he does. But he likes to do certain things so that if he has to use things against you, he can put it off as if you're the aggressive one and you're the one causing him the issues. I'm not going to be mean. Sit your raggedy soft ass down somewhere, please and thank you. He is on my damn nerves, okay? The more I see him, I get he makes my skin crawl, okay? Ugh. So let's get his raggedy dusty self off my screen and get into another video. Let me exit this. Bear with me really quick while I pull this one up. Hopefully. Welcome on in, everybody. Let me speak to a few of you. Dimples Wimples 504, Miss HLS Angel here 62, husband My Bell, honey say that, Miss Bookie Down, a lady 747. Welcome on in. Welcome. I hope you all are looking good, feeling good, and smelling good. Aaliyah TV, Golden Pearl, my sugars in the bushes. Welcome on in. Golden Pearl. Okay, I got you, baby. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Diddy's Baby Oil. Did I get you? Okay, y'all, I got to go. Let me go into the next video. What is this one here? Clip 1, The Escape, Millie. Oh, shit. Is it not uploaded yet, you guys? Oh, that sucks. Hold on. Let me see how much longer we have for that. I could have sworn that it said it was done. But maybe it's not. No views. Okay, it's here. Some custody talk. Oh, maybe I need to refresh my screen. Hold on, you all. Okay. So she's going to get into a little bit of what happened with how did you get custody? Why did you involve yourself with this? Okay. And some of you are going to be like, okay. And some of you are going to be like, I don't give a damn. She's dead wrong. Okay, so let's get into that. I just need to bring it up on my screen, so please bear with me while we go and get that video. Okay.
If you guys saw the rest of Samantha's videos where she told what was going on in her end when Dilla was taken from her, I'm going to backtrack to what was going on our end now that she shared her story. So
this is in response to Samantha's story telling you that Byron kidnapped their daughter with the help of Millie. So now Millie is going to now let you know this is what happened. But she can't tell you everything. You have to read in between the lines. All right, so let's get into it.
That summer when his daughter came to stay with us, I remember I told you guys, like, the baby had just been born and she was acting weird. And then she finally started talking and opening up a little bit, like the last 2 weeks when her grandmother came to visit. And I came into our bedroom and his mom was holding the baby. And
FYI, he is no longer in contact with her. I believe the last time she heard from him, was it 2023? I think. I have to see if she gave us a date in one of her videos. She has everything in place where he cannot take her son. So I'm just going to jump ahead and give you that. She does mention it in another video. Like I said, there's so many videos because she's now addressing what people are asking and saying in the comments. He cannot take their son. She got everything locked down because she's now learning from previous people. She's in contact with people we don't even know. And FYI, remember, Paige told us that, well, let me play this video really quick. This is from another one of his, some of the, let me just play it. Hold on, y'all. Because I just need to go back and forth and get into how all of these women intertwine with one another. Where is that one at? Exposed. Byron said, is this it?
So I want to help you with something really quick. Let me help free you up from a thought that even I had today. I'm going to help unburden this thought right now.
What you got for us?
You don't owe anyone anything.
Debatable.
You don't owe anyone anything.
That's debatable. Once more.
Hey man, this person really helped me out. I was in a tough spot. I was in a bind here. I owe it to them to do this. You owe you. You owe yourself to be better.
That's the first video we've seen from the Black Tinder swindler himself since he went viral. Now, I'm not sure if that video has anything to do in relation with what's actually going on now, but it's nice to put a voice to a face, huh? Here's the latest update on the Black Tinder swindler. And honestly, this story is unfolding in a way where I honestly can't even keep up with it anymore. I can't. I think, like, it is just too much information. It's system overload, bro. I'm overstimulated with the shit that's going on. But of course, these three lovely young women are the women that are leading the charge for this guy, Byron Hopkins, aka the Black Tinder swindler, aka the engagement swindler. That was the guy that proposed at the Tyler the Creator concert. And if you haven't seen that post, go on my page. I got 2 separate videos about that whole situation.
A friend of mine told me to go check if there were people blocked on my Instagram account. And I remember being like, I probably have blocked 3 people in the 10 years that I've had Instagram. But they were like, just go check.
Okay.
And so I did. I went and I checked. And there were 30 women.
Jesus Christ.
30 women.
So what he does is he always makes a point to get onto your phone plan. And he knows how to get into your account, of course. And he's all on your social media pages, blocking different bitches, because he's not only, I told y'all he's always with someone like for real, meaning, you know, we're going to get married, let's have a baby, but he always has one in the chamber. But he also likes to spread it low and spread legs wide. Okay. He likes to sleep around. And we're not talking about just what this one and that one. Paige told you 30, up to 30 women blocked on her Instagram. Get into that. His best friend, his ex-best friend, let me get her up here on the screen. The one that met him down there at the Dime. If you live in LA, maybe you can tell us all about the Dime. Let's get PK Mackey up here. This is PK Mackey, the ex-best friend, the one who originally exposed him, told us that the women, to the point where it was getting on her nerves, the women go crazy over this man. This is what she's saying in the club, to the point where it's annoying. To where she's feeling like, because she likes the women as well, that he's cock blocking because she's trying to talk to the ladies as well. But they're too involved with what he got going on. Yeah. Ain't that something? Millie finds out, because remember when she escaped, she has his iPad. Yeah, she got that iPad, baby. So she's starting to find out a bunch of things as well, and realize he had different people blocked on her accounts as well. Sure did. So no one can try to reach out and, you know, get whatever they need to get. All right. Y'all can't ask me about fashion. I'm very eclectic, so I don't see anything wrong with it. So, but you can't ask me. All right. Have you seen me? Can't ask me. I don't match my clothes. All right. So let's get into some things. What was? Oh, yeah.
His daughter was on the floor crying. And she's crying and she's balled up. And she's talking about how she didn't want to go home.
Let me start this over.
If you guys saw the rest of Samantha's videos where she told what was going on in her end when Dilla was taken from her, I'm going to backtrack to what was going on our end now that she shared her story. So that summer when his daughter came to stay with us, I remember I told you guys, like, the baby had just been born and she was acting weird. And then she finally started talking and opening up a little bit, like the last 2 weeks, when her grandmother came to visit. And I came into our bedroom and his mom was holding the baby and his daughter was on the floor crying. And she's crying and she's balled up and she's talking about how she didn't want to go home because she knew what it really felt like to have a family. And I was really confused when she said that, because I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you have a family, you have your brother and your mom. So then she started telling us some stories. And I was like, what? And then his mom is like, all you have to do is just tell the truth and just make sure you're telling the truth and everything will be fine.
So peep the mom. His mom is also in on everything that's going on with the daughter. She's there for the summer. This is her second summer. Millie did tell us in a previous video that second summer, she felt like the daughter wasn't the same. We talked about this yesterday, but I said, when we have children, they change. When, we're talking about preteen, baby, every summer, it's me. I always got my bonus baby every summer as well. And, you're going to watch the change of life when it comes with these children, so you're going to see a difference because now they start smelling self. They feel like they can talk back. Y'all know how it goes if you're a parent. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be quiet and shut my mouth and just let it play. In the meantime, I have to work and also find out. I think after this, I'm going to end it. We're going to stop it. And although this is the end and the finale, because we know that she's no longer with this man and has not been with him since August of 2023, we are going to do one more live, but it's where I'm going to pull some of her videos for some of the questions, the main questions that people have all throughout the comments. So I'm going to just let this play out.
So I'm like confused because she's never mentioned anything when she came the summer before. And I'm looking at him and he goes, yeah, I've kind of had this feeling for years that there was something going on. And I'm like, you've had a feeling for years that there's something going on and you haven't removed her from the situation? He's like, yeah, well, I was just waiting until I was stable because I couldn't afford to take care of her. I just wasn't in a place. I just was going to wait until she got older, until she was 13. And then I'm asking his mom, because again, like, I'm trying to understand what's going on, because it came out of nowhere. And she goes, yeah, I had her for a whole summer, no, for a month during COVID because she wasn't doing well in school. And when she was with me, her grades shot up and blah, blah, blah. And Samantha doesn't want her. She doesn't want her daughter. When I had my son, like while I was at the hospital and he's in the NICU, Byron tells me that Samantha had texted him. Mind you, my son was born on her birthday. I didn't find this out until after I left, that they share the same birthday. Because I had asked him and I asked his daughter, when is your mom's birthday? It looked like her birthday was in May. When is it? And they both act like they didn't know. So I find out that he was born on the exact same day as Samantha. So when my son is in the NICU, Byron says, yeah, Samantha was texting me, asking me where her money is, like whatever he's supposed to send her a month. Mind you, he's telling me that he pays her $500 a month. That's what he's telling me. And so he said that he told her, oh, I'm so sorry. Like I've been so busy. My son is in the NICU. He tells me that she says, well, you shouldn't have had another baby then. And that pissed me off.
Now, this is where I get pissed off at him again. First of all, you're not paying her a damn dime on a dollar. You're not paying a dime on a dollar, and you make up this payment plan. You've been paying her $500 a month. Okay. And then you make up another lie on top of that and say that you were unable to pay her $500 because you wanted to use that your son was in the NICU, but you never were paying her a dime anyway. Like, who does that? Who does that? Like how long in advance did you set up this lie? Like, did you say, oh, well, maybe when my son is born, I can pull all of the lies together? My God. Now, keep in mind, Millie does not know about his 7 children during this time. She found all of this out later. She only knows about the daughter who they got custody of and her son. and one more that's tattooed on him, but he claimed that child wasn't his. Okay. So
I was like, what? Triangulation. Later on, when Sam and I finally talked, because this has been a process, I think we both have guilt, both have a little bit of anger, and it's taken us some time to get to where we are now. And when we finally did talk, she was crying and she said, Kim, I would never, ever, ever say anything about your baby, ever. He's a baby. I would never say anything about him. Because that really was a hard time for me. And I couldn't believe.
Let me take that back some, because see, it's the last for me. Let's take that back real quick. And now I'm starting to understand why she's like long in the wind and she's saying everything for a reason. She also lets us know, yes, she's telling her story, but she's dropping certain nuggets because there are people in the background paying attention, but they're not public with what's going on with this. Okay, so they're not public right now, but with things that are pending and going on that she speaks about in some of her other videos, all of these details have to come together so people can get their brain cells together, because all of the stories intertwine. Yes, they do. So let's go back to this lie.
Believe that someone would say something, ever say anything about your baby, ever. He's a baby. I would never say. Not piss me off. And I was like, what? Not like, that's what where her money is, like whatever he's supposed to send her. It was in May. When is it? And they both act like they didn't know. So I find out that he was born on the exact same day as Samantha. So when my son is in the NICU, Byron says, yeah, Samantha was texting me, asking me where her money is, like whatever he's supposed to send her a month. Mind you, he's telling me that he pays her $500 a month. That's what he's telling me. And so he said that he told her, oh, I'm so sorry. Like I've been so busy. My son is in the NICU. He tells me that she says, well, you shouldn't have had another baby then. And that pissed me off. And I was like, what? Triangulation. Later on, when Sam and I finally talked, because this has been a process, I think we both have guilt, both have a little bit of anger, and it's taken us some time to get to where we are now. And when we finally did talk, she was crying and she said, Kim, I would never, ever, ever say anything about your baby, ever. He's a baby. I would never say anything about him. Because that really was a hard time for me. And I couldn't believe that someone would say something like just discarding like that. And so I was good on her. That's all he had to tell me. And I was like, oh no, I never want to meet her. That's all he had to say. Just like that, bam. So I'm not just taking his word for it, because I don't really know what's going on. And this sounds, again, it's a gnarly story. And then he's telling me he's known for a while, and that's why he's been wanting to take her. And then his mom is validating that. But then later on, I find out that when she did have to have her for, during COVID for like a month to help Sam out, that Sam was driving out there like every day to see her daughter. They left that part out. Nobody ever told me that. They just acted like she just didn't care. So when I'm being told that there's abuse, I mean, what was I supposed to do? Like, she's telling me these stories. His mom is basically validating it. He's saying he's known for a while that something was wrong. So I went into mama bear mode, and I was like, all right, let's come up with a plan. So it started in June. There was one time he called her, had like a video, like a FaceTime call, and he wrote a note while he was FaceTiming her, and he said, "Daddy's gonna take you, don't worry." So it had been, you know, planned out for like 6 months, basically. Well, no, she went back in August, September, October, November, December. So like 4 months. You know, he consulted attorneys, he consulted dad attorneys, or attorneys that specifically represented fathers, you know, and then, I mean, she's saying things. I don't, like, how could they not be true? I just, it's, and I again, I don't want to say too much. That's why I was trying to explain the manipulation when it comes to children. Like, the reality is warped. Like, it wasn't until the end when I started asking more specific questions and when I really got to know her, because I've never lived with her before. So when I really got to know her and how she, you know, then that's when I started to realize that not everything was as it seemed. And that's when I started to realize I had made a mistake. Even though I did what was best at the time with the information that I had. I mean, I don't know. He kept telling me, she's just like me, she's just like me. And I was thinking, like, yeah, she has like your personality, and she does look like her mom, and she does look like she's a mix between both of you. But it wasn't until I left when I understood what he actually meant by that. And then that was like scary. I was like, oh no, you know, and it took a hot minute before Samantha could even talk to me. So we were communicating through other people, basically.
So, you know, he told her she's just like me. We know Millie has, sometimes Millie is given, is everything okay, baby? Is the pantry empty, sugar? No, Millie, before you, baby, if you're going to bake a cake, you might need some eggs, or you might, honey, is everything okay up there? So when he's saying she's just like me, she's thinking, oh, visually, yeah, she looks like you, got a little bit of Sam in her. But then later, after the fact, she's like, oh, shit, because now she lives with her. Okay, but she, you know, you got to be careful when you're talking and saying things. But let me just review that and go back real quick in case you missed it and didn't hear what she said.
But it wasn't until I left when I understood what he actually meant. When I started asking more specific questions.
I'm sorry, sugar. I can't really turn the volume down up. It's at the max.
I lived with her before, so when I really got to know her and how she, you know, then that's when I started to realize that not everything was as it seemed. And that's when I started to realize I had made a mistake. Even though I did what was best at the time with the information that I had. I mean,
and can I say this? It's so crazy, like I said, since I'm invested and now I'm at the end and now she's out of the storytelling mode. I'm like, well, who is this woman? Because this is who you were needing to be day one in 2020 when you met this ninja, right? But sometimes it takes motherhood for you to finally wake up, especially Again, it just depends on everybody's background and what they're used to and what they're familiar with. But like this, Millie, now that we're like at the end of it, and not right here in this video, I'm talking about videos that are on her TikTok right now, and when she goes live, she's a completely different woman now. You know, it's just like, well, what happened to the naive? You know, baby, the pantry is filled up now. Okay, she got the sugar in there, flour, the pasta, the rice. All right, the pantry is now full. I believe, was it Dimples that said that they canceled the food stamps? No, baby. She got food stamps now. Okay. The pantry is full. It is no longer empty. All right. But it's just like, yeah, damn, 2 years of all of this is absolutely insane. But guess what? She finally woke up. So thank God for that. Okay. So
I don't know. Kept telling me, she's just like me. She's just like me. And I was thinking, like, yeah, she has like your personality, and she does look like her mom, and she does look like she's a mix between both of you. But it wasn't until I left when I understood what he actually meant by that. And then that was like scary. I was like, oh no, you know, and it took a hot minute before Samantha could even talk to me. So we were communicating through other people, basically. And I don't blame her at all. And I just, you know, so when we finally did talk, you know, I told her what he said to me, what's been happening. And she was like, I would never say that about your son. And I've never, you know, I was like, just, these are the things that I was told. Like, I mean, obviously I know that things are super off and not true, but, and I do understand that she made, you know, like she said, that she wasn't the best parent. She could have done better, and she made some mistakes, you know, and this is, kind of a result of that, like the beginning part of what happened, which we can't speak on, but I just know that even though I did what I felt was best, I mean, when a child's telling you these things, like, what are you gonna do? And then you got the mama and the dad, like, cooperating. So what are you gonna do? So I just know that the isolation, and that's something that I couldn't do anything about that. And then he, again, and I don't know what conversations are being had while I'm at work, and what, like, I have no idea. Again, when you go back to my video about the manipulation of the children, and I'm gonna have to leave it at that. Because the situation is so complex. But if everything was being followed, or the rules are being followed by the court, I feel that she definitely was not given or treated fairly. And even though there's a lot of things that clearly have been identified by many parties about what's going on, but no one's like addressing it, which is weird to me. And it's clear as day. Concerns have been, like, it's clear as day. So this is where we're at right now, currently. And we're just, like, again, supporting each other, and we're just, like, concerned. And there's some other things that started to make more sense after I left, things that I didn't, you know how you'll see something, but you don't know what you're looking at? And, you know, there was a few situations like that. And then I really became extremely concerned. Extremely. And I just wanted to find out what was like, who is this dude? Like, who is he? Because I have been living with him for 2.5 years, and the depths of deception is like wild to me. And the secrets, the skeletons in the closet are wild to me. And I was upset because I didn't like the deception that was happening, not just from him, but from other people. Really upset about that.
Remember on yesterday's video, she said there are secrets and those secrets have to come out. I don't know who she was referring to, who she was talking to. She said there are secrets. Those secrets have to come out. Don't know who it was for, who she was talking to. She's sort of addressing it right now. Now, for those of you saying, well, she's not really telling us shit. You do the same thing we do with Nesto and them when they on that damn payphone with Global Tel Inc. We got to use your Nesto code talk powers. You have to speculate, assume, and everything that we are saying here is definitely a bad opinion, but I'm going to definitely need you to get your allegedly on, please, and thank you. Yeah, get your allegedly on right now. This is the time for you to get into your allegedly talent. Please, all right? Allegedly. Is my banner on? Everything is speculation and hogwash. But again, let's backtrack to secrets. There are secrets. She's whispering, baby, the baby is asleep. Baby, he's 2. You know, you can't wake up them toddlers. So she is whispering, honey, child. So I do apologize for that. Hopefully you guys can bump up your volume in case you're having trouble hearing her. Now, moving forward, if there are any videos, I have to pay attention to if she's whispering, because I can also bump up my volume when I edit the video. But I did not edit this one, unfortunately. So bear with me 1 second. I do apologize. I'm so sorry, Miss Boogie Down. You know, I would never ignore you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hugs and kisses to you, baby. Thank you for this content. It's real out here, doll. You know, you all, thank you for rocking with me with this content, hanging out with me, and engaging with me. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, baby. Period. A shimmy and a shake. Pull in a little closer. And let me give you a little razzle and a dazzle, honey. Can y'all still hear me? I don't know if my audio, because I had to switch screens, so I apologize, y'all. So thank you so much, baby doll. Okay, so let's get back into, I'm trying my best, if I see your comments, to answer them in the chat. Or pause it. But if I don't see your comments, I apologize in advance. You know, you can always plug down into the comments once the live is over, and I'll try to go down there in the comments to answer anything based off of what I've watched and seen throughout her TikTok, because I'm not playing everything on the live. Okay, so, and Millie has also been part of the chat as of yesterday. So she can also, you know, I don't know if she's watching today or not, but she can also answer anything if she feels like I'm misinforming or saying things that didn't actually happen. Okay. I'm usually loud and wrong, but with this situation, I've been pretty much straightforward and on point. And she let me know that she has had people's content removed if they're taking the story in a different direction, meaning they're not telling the truth. So thank God she said, you know, as long as you tell the story how it is, she's cool, but don't make up things. All right. They don't like that. All right. So let's hit the play. Oh, y'all can't see a damn thing. I'm sorry.
Like, I've never met people that went that low. So That's all I'm going to speak on about that. Yeah. And backtracking a little bit, sometimes he would tell me, actually often, he's like, I just want to send her back.
I don't know what goes on state to state, El Cid, but the child support is owed in Colorado. He's in California now. So I don't know how that happened state to state. And Millie found out after the fact when she was going into the system, Colorado does not allow you to see what's going on with child support public. Like you can't just be, anybody going down there trying to see if Boo Boo the fool that you done met down there at the bar is paying child support. So remember, they are not in the same state. Samantha lives and resides in Colorado. Byron took all her damn furniture and shit and moved to California. Okay, let's hit the play.
I just want to send her back. And there was one time that he used that and threatened that he would send her. Like, I didn't know. That's all I'm going to speak on about that. Yeah. And backtracking a little bit, sometimes he would tell me, actually often, he's like, I just want to send her back. I just want to send her back. And there was one time that he used that and threatened that he would send her back. And I think it was more so like she got really scared, but it was like rejection though. Like he's rejecting me. Like he's saying he doesn't want me. Her saying that she wanted a real family, she wants her dad and whatever family that looks like with him. She just wants him in the picture. And it makes sense if he's not really been around. She only gets to see him here and there when he surprises her, or love bombs her, which makes.
Can I ask a question? And I'm sorry if this sounds ignorant or, immature. Do we have any biracial? Are we using biracial, or is there because everything is changing. You can't say this, you can't say that. Everybody's offended. All right. Do we have any biracial people in the chat? If we do, my question to you is, let me refresh that. Do we have any biracial adults in the chat who grew up in a single, like your mom, your mom was a single mother, or you know what I'm trying to say? How does it hit for you if you have, I'm going to say if you have a Black father and a white mother, for example, if your Black father is not in that house and you're around your mom's family and, you're around Aunt Rita, you're around Aunt Martha, you know what I'm saying? But you never get to see the Black side of your family. Does that add, Jackson, now we ain't gonna get all deep here now, are we? You know what I'm trying to say. We ain't gonna get all deep, are we? You're already missing your father, right? But you're also around a bunch of people that you don't look like. So you're really curious about what's going on with dad. Is that how that works? Is what I want to know. Because it's just like, I'm around all these people over here because there are a lot of, I mixed with my mom and my daddy. So for those of you who, you got the Black dad and you got the white mama, and daddy's not part of your life when you were growing up, how did you feel? Because you're not looking like mom and them. Goodness. So yeah, I just want to know how that works, because I know that anytime you have children and the home is broken, and of course that child is always going to wonder, especially if the parent is absent, what's going on with my dad, or for some case, in some situations, what's going on with my mom, especially, but when you're when you don't look like the people that are raising you, how does that work? Are you dealing with identity crisis and not understanding your, I don't know. Somebody can let me know. Honey, I don't know. Because I know we're not all Black in here. I do have a few, this is a mixed crowd, but I will say majority of us are Black. So let me know.
Makes a lot of sense. So it's just very, if you don't know like what that is, what you're looking at, it's confusing, it's confusing. And I didn't know what I was looking at with that particular situation. I didn't know what I was seeing, what was happening. I didn't know about the manipulation that had started a long time ago, years before me. I just knew that the isolation should have never happened. Where she wasn't able to develop a relationship with her mom, because she would tell me, she's like, I really do love my mom, like I love her. And then she would ask me questions like, will my mom get in trouble? Like she was just really concerned in the beginning about like what she.
So this baby asking, is her mom going to get in trouble? My God.
Would say. And I'm like, well, I mean, if it's the truth, I don't know, guys, like it's hard to navigate. Obviously after you guys hearing her stories and knowing who he is, I mean, it's safe to say that not everything is what it appeared to be in that situation. And again, like Samantha's just owed the fairness of fighting for her daughter, and for all sides to be shown. And so, yeah. So in conclusion to this part, the one thing that Samantha never stopped doing was fighting. And I would even ask, I was like, if she hates her daughter so much, why is she fighting so hard to get her? And he would say, because she just wants to win. She just wants to win. And she's a narcissist. But I can never let like, no mother. I'm like, no, she loves her daughter. Like, no mother doesn't fight for the kids that they don't want. Like, that doesn't mean that if she hates her so much, why is she fighting so hard for her? And I would have conversations with his daughter and I would tell her, your mom is fighting, because he won't tell her these things. So I would tell her, because she needs to see that she's being fought for and that her mom loves her. And I would tell her, even when I left and, she was in the car, and I told her, I said, your mom loves you. That's why she's fighting so hard for you. I need you to remember that she loves you. And she was like, I know. But like the doubling down on things, like, yeah. And the whole thing is awful. Like when her and I talked, I apologized to her. I'm like, I didn't know. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I just want to help you get her back. you know, and then she had to tell me what was going on her end so that I could have the full story of what was going on, because I'm just like, I don't understand. There's all of these things that are being said, you know, like these are the stories that I'm hearing, that I'm being told. And so we had to address all those, that none of that, you know, it's all twisted and warped, and it's all twisted around. So yeah, I mean, I feel bad because I didn't know at all. So I obviously take accountability for my part in it, because if it wasn't for me funding it, like, he would have never gotten her. But I don't know, I go through this with my therapist all the time about not beating myself up, because I just did not know, like, that any sane person who cares would have done what I did with what I was being told. I don't understand. It still boggles my mind. And that's why you have to understand the psychology of narcissism and how they manipulate their kids. And like, then I was able to like wrap my head around it and understand what was going on, and how this is, it's been manipulation since when she was young. When I spoke to all of the women and got all of their stories of their interactions and what was going on when it came to the daughter, I was like, oh my God, this has been years and years and years of twisting and warping, and it's scary. And it's sad. And it's not fair to her, because she's an innocent child. So if you know, for me, if I wanted to know what it was like raising, you know, a child around him, I mean, the example is sitting there right in the house of what that looks like. So I am, I'm giving the link to Samantha for a GoFundMe, because I know she's gonna get her back. If his girlfriend left him, what is he gonna do with her? He can't afford her. What are they gonna do? And you know, allocate the funds. I'm working on trying to on some connections for an attorney, because she did have an attorney in the beginning, and then it's ridiculous, and so she needs representation again. And then she's gonna need a really, really good therapist. She's still young. She still, you know, is able to get the help to fix what's been going on up here. And that's what we're rooting for. That's all we want, is to bring her home.
All right. So I feel like that's a good point to end it right there. Now, keep in mind, yes, she did pay for the lawyer, but when she left that relationship, she didn't have anything. He financially drained her because business was starting to get slow. She had to go through her savings. Now, you know, when you got to touch your savings, that's when we got a problem. When I have to touch my savings and I have to deplete that, that's when we know we're in trouble. Okay. And I do have a few TikTok videos that I'm going to share with you all. And there is one in, she does let us know in another video, which we're going to play in a different live, where we just go through a few of the, you know, burning questions and hard questions that are all over the TikTok and in the comments and whatnot. Not on today's live because, baby, I am tired. But she does let everybody know before she paid for that lawyer, she got professional advice. She didn't just base this off of what that baby doll was telling her, what the mom was telling her. No, 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 no. So I'm going to start off by, but here, in the meantime, I will say this. Sometimes we still have to mind our business and find a way to help without inserting ourselves. I don't know if that's a possibility or not. I'm just saying that now that we see what happens when you do, perhaps moving forward, if anybody is in a situation like this and they're invested in this story, maybe this is helpful. Like, okay, well, maybe I need to find out, how can I reach out to this mom and get down to business to see what's actually going on, you know? So, child, depending on who you're dealing with, because see, everybody don't have a Samantha to talk to, you know. You might run into somebody who is waiting for you to contact them so that you can fuck around and find out. So it just depends on who you have in your life and what your situation is personally when it comes to a man or a woman that you're with co-parenting. But like we know, Byron wasn't co-parenting. He was just stopping by. He was just stopping by. Yes, he was. Hello to favorite one, Reefs and Muff's mom. Hey, cutie pie. Hey, honey. Reefs and Muff's mom. Yeah, so welcome on in, y'all. So let's get into a few questions. We don't know his situation now, since it looks like he's been booked and busy. Where we at? I forgot who. Somebody, Elias TV. He's been booked and busy. Remember, he is now on some. He doesn't owe anybody anything. Remember what he said in this video right here. Where's it at? Let me find it. Just in case y'all forgot that quick. This is what he's telling y'all.
So I want to help you with something really quick. Let me help free you up from a thought that even I had today. I'm going to help unburden this thought right now.
What you got for us?
You don't owe anyone anything.
Debatable.
You don't owe anyone anything.
That's debatable. Once
thinking,
more.
Hey man, this person really helped me out. I was in a tough spot. I was in a bind here. You know, I owe it to them to do this. You owe you. You owe yourself to be better.
That's the.
I was in a tough spot. You know who he's talking to in this video, if you let me tell it. He said, I was in a tough spot. I don't owe you a motherfucking thing. I was in a tough spot. Look at me now. Online, because we don't know. People be online cutting the fool and don't got a damn dime on a dollar, okay? He's down there on the Amazon selling the children superhero affirmations. He's booked for universities and schools. He now has friends because he's now in Georgia, putting on a performance of his life. Down at the Tyler, the Creator concert, proposing to his girlfriend, now fiance of 2 years. And Millie has a feeling, her intuition, her gut is telling her that this new girlfriend that he proposed to is pregnant. And she also gets into a little bit of tea because, see, what Millie had to do in the process of her now seeing that, yeah, I fucked up. I made a mistake with him, helping him get his daughter. But now I have to make sure all of my ducks are in a row and I can't leave my shoes untied around this ninja. She had to sort of watch him after because she didn't know where he was at or what he was doing. You got to sleep with one eye open with these types of fools because at this time she's thinking, oh my God, I'm the only one that left him. Okay, so let's get into a few of the situations. Millie did mention that there were a few vehicles that looks like the girlfriend did get him. She purposely made sure she was able to have access to one of his social media pages, I guess where he does the most carrying on, so that she can keep in like Millie went into some I need to pay somebody to do this, do that. Like she kept her eye on everything. So yeah, she kept her eye on everything until she no longer had to. I think once he moved to Georgia is probably when it was time to like, okay, I can now finally like be relieved. And she went no contact. Well, he went no contact after she started calling him out on everything and dropping resources, because he was starting to set her up as if she was trying to alienate him and abandon, like she didn't want him to be involved in the son's life. So what she did in that email, that's why she dropped all text messaging with him and only allowed him to communicate with her via the email. He was trying to set her up like she was keeping the son away from him. So the very last email they had, and we will get into that video in a live probably on, I don't know if I'll be live this weekend because my weekend's kind of crazy, maybe Monday, but there is a video where she lets us know that she hit him with everything that he needed to know and gave him resources of what he needs to do, and pretty much said, you need to do this, that, and the third with the resources. And she's never heard from him since then. And now he's in Georgia doing what? Wrecking havoc. No telling how many women or men's, allegedly, if you let me tell it, he's dealing with in the Georgia. He's having a good old funky time down there. No shade, but we know. If you know, you know. All right, so let's get into a few of the questions that were asked on her TikTok. And one of the things, speaking of kinks and a fetish, this is only a 10-second video, but let me pull up my screenshot first on the phone, because since it's only 10 seconds, you're probably not going to have enough time to read the actual question. So let me go and get that. So she let us know that she finds out a lot of things about kinks, his fetish. She just finds out a lot. Him putting her in danger because of the activity he was out there involved in. And someone says to her, not a surprise, they have no boundaries regarding age, sex, gender, Lord Jesus, gender, status, when it comes to meeting their own needs. Everything is a tool. They're predatory. So worrying about the spectrum isn't wise. So let's see what she has to say to that response in the comments.
Thank you for touching on this, because this is something that I'm not able to discuss, but you are spot on.
Another nugget she's dropping when it comes to not having boundaries regarding age, sex, meaning male or female, status, etc, baby, okay? Whatever, okay? I'm down for whatever. I don't give a damn about none of that. I don't care about none of the demographics. I don't care about age, gender, none of that, okay? And there's one more time in case you didn't hear. Like I said, nuggets are being dropped, but we can't discuss, but so much is what she's given.
Thank you for touching on this, because this is something that I'm not able to discuss, but you are spot on.
She has this man's iPad that he charged on her account. The only thing I can assume is she's starting to find out some crazy shit in this $2,000 iPad that he charged on her account. And now she's in investigation mode. Now Millie told her she's learning how to pow a gun. She's in defense mode. She's in mommy mode. Like, I'm dealing with a maniac right now. So she's now watching true crime. Like, she's trying to get everything she needs to gather because she doesn't know who she's dealing with. Now she's speaking to some of the exes, people who have known him since he was 16. So she's finding out all sorts of things. Okay. And I thought this was the finale, but Lord, we're going to have to do another live because I didn't even get it. I didn't even make it to the X videos yet because she like got them labeled like X number 1, X number 2. I'm like, well, girl, who is this? So yeah. Thank you so much, Patty, for reminding the people to hit the like button. Please hit the like button, Sugar, so that we can get into the algorithm. Y'all, I'm starting to stutter. I got to get the hell on out of here soon. So let's go to the next. Somebody wanted to know, remember in the beginning of all of this, I forgot which live it was on because, baby, we on 5th, 6th live. Remember, she let him borrow money when he said something, when he made up a lie about why he didn't have a car and he had that scooter. So they wanted to know if Millie got her $3,000 back.
In reply to this comment, no. We ended up putting that car on Turo, so he made it like it was our like way to make income, you know, as a team. Because mind you, again, he's telling me that he's gonna marry me. And so at the time I never thought that like, oh, we aren't going to the end, you know? So it wasn't until my family was dropping little nuggets. Like my mom would say, well, if something happens, you can afford to take care of your son. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, but why would something happen? What do you mean? We're gonna be together forever. Like, my mom told me to leave him while I was pregnant. And I couldn't believe she said that. I was like, why would you say that? Why would you tell me to leave him? We have a very loving relationship. I need to find a comment about why I thought that, and I'll comment on that. But yeah, no, the answer is no. I never got the 3K back at all, nor the 2K that my grandmother gave me for the baby to put into a fund for him. So I obviously had to repay him back for that because we're not about to take away from the baby. But the answer is no.
So his raggedy ass was just taking whatever he wanted to take. You didn't took the $2,000 her grandmother gave her to invest for the baby. My God, on today. So here's another question. What's going on with him getting away with this, you know, with them being in different states? So this is just a short answer to that question.
In response to
this is in most, oh wait, sorry y'all, let me read it because like I said, it's going to go too fast. So let me actually pull that up so that I can tell you exactly what they're asking her. And this is her response. In most cases, they need actual proof of the allegations. Anyone can say anything. Sadly, the system, you know, there's no justice in the system. So let's see what she says to that.
In response to this particular message, this is true. Mind you, they live in 2 different states. So in order for everything to have happened, there has to be proof. You can't just say blah, 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 but they have to actually see, because people lie, right? So the court actually has to have proof of that. Like I said, a piece is true, but the problem is that the manipulation and the untruths that furthered it. And so that's when I say that she was not given a fair shot because of the manipulation throughout the case. Again, there's some things that I can't say, but the court had granted him the custody. So the whole purpose of all of this is to give her a fair shot, because it was very unfair with the way that he was able to manipulate his way through court. And I can't speak on any of it because even though I have been abreast of the entire situation, it is not my case.
A piece of the allegations is true, not all of it. She can't speak on it. It's still active. Now, let's go back to Samantha in our previous live. Remember, she said when he told her not to call the police, her brother said, I don't give a F what he said, call the authorities. Remember, she was told by that police officer, you need to get yourself what? A lawyer. So we don't know what Byron showed that police officer when he went over there, but the police officer did let her know you need to get a lawyer. So you do with that with you with what you want, okay? So oh Lord. Let's get into speaking of, she seems like a needy person. She did let us know that she was not in a relationship for 2 years. So she didn't have a relationship for 2 years and was also not sexually active for the 2 years before meeting with him. So she was wide open, and she's already admitting that yes, she's naive. And some of us will say, is she slow? Because how did you fall for all of that? But like I said, watching everything going on throughout the TikTok, baby, I'm just like, my God, holy! I'm like now thankful. Like I'm kind of glad I grew up, with a little street smarts, because Jesus, I'm glad I was not sheltered, right? Because whoo, baby, that's a lot. So hold on one second. Let's get into one more and then we'll go. How did they take his word, as how I titled this. Let me see.
In response.
Same thing. Then what's this one? That's the same thing. So that's all I got right now as far as, some of the I can actually remove this one. That's all we got for today's live. We will definitely get together either sometime this weekend or continue this as of Monday with different questions, because she does let us know what she actually did before she paid for that lawyer. Remember, there is some proof of one of the allegations, but everything is not true. So I just wanted to put that out there. And these are things that she has said on her TikTok. This is all I have for you all. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me and joining me. I appreciate y'all so much. Shout out again to AKPOV for rejoining her membership. And thank you so much, Miss Boogie Down, for your super chat, sugar. I love y'all down. I believe it is CW's birthday today. Let me check and see. I'm not sure if she's in the chat or not, but I just want to go look at my notes and see what is going on here. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is CW, baby. I don't know if you're catching this replay or not, but happy birthday to you, sugar. Is there any other birthday girls or guys in here today? Let me know. What did I write here in my notes? Did I need to tell y'all something in the notes? What is this? Please keep in mind there's acting working. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Give me a second. I'll let y'all know that I did verify that was Millie in the chat yesterday. I have proof. So that was definitely her. And that is her YouTube channel as well. That's tagged in my title. I let y'all know everything when it comes to her escape, and when she left Byron, was she got help from her therapist on how to get away from someone with narcissistic personality disorder. So I did let y'all know that as well. So because he didn't want her, they didn't want her to put herself in danger while doing this. She did find out that she was not the only person that left him. I believe it has something to do with maybe his previous 2 wives or another ex that has something to do with him when he was younger, back when he was in Colorado, causing shit to train wreck, if you will. So Yeah, I think that's all I got. And I got one more place to check where I'm taking notes and figuring out what's going on. Who is this? Oh, okay. Hey, baby doll. Okay. I didn't even see this message. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm always waiting. Okay, we did talk about yesterday when I told you all when I was listening to Millie's story, how I started to question myself like, damn, is there something wrong with me? Because I just don't trust anything or anybody. And I did write in my notes here, I don't trust anything. I'm always waiting to write a violation ticket or file something in my file cabinet. That's not okay. Because sometimes when you are, researching or grabbing, video clips and, getting into content, especially from a story time or from a story that's dropping, you do ask yourself questions because this is a different energy. You're taking in different energies when people are telling their story, especially if it's a little, traumatic. So I started questioning myself like, damn, so do I need a little help too? Because I mean, at the same time, is everybody out here wrecking havoc and should I always be in defense mode? So, there's just different things that I was going through while processing all of this. Because remember, most of the content that we've been covering over here are recorded phone calls, text messages, but they're just, it's speculation and what we assume. But this is somebody actually telling her story. We're not violating anybody's, there's no invasion of privacy because she's telling us her story and what she went through. So this did hit different for me covering this as far as content, because it's just like at the same time I'm pointing my finger at Millie, but I'm starting to ask myself as well, was like, God damn. I'm sitting here like, well, how did you fall for this? But I'm like, at the same time, is it because I don't trust people? I don't know. Oh my goodness. She found out about his real name, I think on the third month. And that's because he used one of Nesto's line. He was with Sinbad's daughter. So he was with what did he call Shirley? He was with a prominent woman, and he didn't want to tell his real name because he was protecting his prominent woman. Is that how Nesto says it? Prominent. Okay. Let me see. I think I'm just still trying to. Okay. Oh yeah, she even lets us know that she caught him unplugging the baby monitor. That's another thing she said in one of her videos. She caught him unplugging the baby monitor, and she had to confront him like, why do you keep unplugging the baby's monitor? And this was after she figured out, like, why does he keep taking the baby to my mom's? Like, he never wanted to be with the baby when she had to go to work or anything. He would drop the baby off to her parents' house. He didn't want to spend time with the baby. He didn't want to watch the baby. He didn't want to do none of that. She even said that she realized one day, she asked him what something happened with the baby, and she was like, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm waiting for him to fall asleep. And she's like, the baby's at the age where he's not, he's already had his nap. He wasn't going back to sleep. So like, why are you waiting for him to why are you waiting for the baby to go to bed when the baby is up for the day? So yeah, she had a lot going on with this guy. And oh yeah, this is what she told her mom when they weren't speaking. Remember, her mom's been telling her to get away from him before she even got pregnant. And remember, she just said in these clips here that she said to her to leave him while she was pregnant. She had to remind him, oh, you can afford to take care of this baby without his help financially. So she said after everything was going on, when she found out he was stealing her money, when she called her mom, she called her and said, I need your help. I need to get out of this relationship, because when she left him, she actually went to go live with her parents for 1 year after that. So she had to end up going back home with her parents. And that's what she said when he was unplugging those baby monitors. She definitely found out that he was talking to different people. I don't know if it was that cousin, that male cousin, or not, but yeah. And during their couples therapy, the therapist, I guess when you're dealing with someone with narcissistic personality disorder, they don't just come out and say that to them. I think there's a certain step that they recommend you take. Excuse me. I know I got to get off of here because my throat is getting crazy. And they had to start off by telling Byron that he had personality disorder. Now, I do know when it comes to bipolar, for example, and I don't like to tell a lot of my business, but I will tell you some. When I was in family therapy with my daughter, for example, when they're a certain age, and I don't know, this might be different across the board. When they're a certain age, they don't just say, oh, it's bipolar. With my daughter, for example, they said it was mood disorder. And then I guess after a certain age, it falls into this, that, and a third. So she said that's what was going on with them in therapy as a couple, that they got to the personality disorder stage of letting Byron know, like, you ain't, listen, something's wrong with you, sir. So yeah, that's all I got for today. Thank y'all for joining me so much. Let me play the birthday song before we go. 1 minute, y'all. I gotta go back to the dollhouse to get that. Baby, we down at the bar because, honey, baby, we need a drink after all of this. We need a drink. All right, let me play that eerie song, honey.
Have you ever felt? Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I had fun, so I'm not going to play our exit. Shout out. What is it? I didn't forgot what MC Deborah said. Shout out to everybody. I didn't have fun. This actually drained me because I'm just like, I cannot believe, and you know, for some people this is light work. They're like, oh, that's not too bad. But I just can't believe there are people out here just, you know, putting on. I mean, I know it happens, but I can't even imagine dealing with a man that is celebrating Halloween 365 days a week. I'm trying to keep up with my different wigs, what color lipstick I'm going to wear. Hell, people might say I'm a walking Halloween costume, but to deal with a man who's going in and out of different personalities, stealing out of your damn pocketbook, sleeping with every Tom, Dick, Jane, and Larry, and I said those names like that for a reason, because baby, I'm messy, is absolutely insane and crazy. Okay, lying about children, married to Barbara Joanne. I mean, when do the lies stop? It's just absolutely insane and crazy and deranged. And it's not just one person falling for it. Millie is just the face of this maniac in this story, because she's willing to not give a damn or give a fuck what the people have to say. So she's just spilling her guts. And she lets us know that as well. She reads all of the comments and she's okay with whatever anybody has to say about her. She does not care. And if you wanted to know what sign, if you are into the horoscope and the zodiac, what sign is Millie? Well, Millie is a Capricorn. And when you start to see the new person that she is in this different attitude, it makes so much sense. Because if I know one thing about a Capricorn, because there's two in my house, and my very, 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 very good sister friend since junior high is a Capricorn. If you know how they roll when they're finished and when they're done, this is what mode she's in right now. So if you are into the zodiac, you know how Caps are. When they're done, they're done. They're done. I don't know where her Cap traits were during all of this, but she also lets us know she never was that stupid, but she wasn't willing to admit to herself what was actually going on. Yeah, Dimples Wimples. That's exact, baby. This is it right here. This is the one right here. She's about her fucking money. She's okay. She took care of a man. That's where she grew up. Or she watched her mom take care of her dad. Her dad was disabled. Her mom was the breadwinner. She will admit she was okay with taking care of her man. Yeah, she's willing to admit that. Yes, she is. But baby, don't steal my money. Oh, you stealing money? Oh, you playing with my money now? Yeah, this ain't gonna. Hey, now. Hey, what's going on? She's okay. Well, Elle said, here's the thing. She's okay with that because that's how she grew up. That's how she grew up. She didn't see anything wrong with that. She's helping the brother out. Just don't take her money. Oh, you didn't, huh? This ain't how much I had in this drawer. What is this? What you mean you done left me from 1,000 that's stashed in this panty drawer? Yes, panty. In the panty drawer, this rolled up 1K is now $185. That still sends me. How dare you put $85 when I had 10 $100 bills? Hey, Miss Lorraine, baby, April B, welcome on in. Who you playing with, sir? 185? Just leave me with the 100. Because, see, now you fucking with me. And then you going to tell me it's probably mom brain and I moved it? Huh? How did I move it, but I left behind 185 when we started out with 10 100s? Huh? If I moved it, none of it should be here. Why not just steal it all, Byron? So before we go, although I feel like I didn't have any fun, I do got to go and return back to over there where I got the content. So before we go and head out, all right, we definitely got to do it for the one time, for sure.
Bring up Byron. You was a trifling ass father, Byron.
Listen, hey.
Period. All right. Y'all have an amazing weekend. Thank you so much for your support. You know I love you down. Baby, I'm too tired to shake my ass. Bye. And if you are catching a replay and if you made it all the way to the almost damn near 3-hour mark, drop down in the comments and give me proof, baby, that you were here. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Unfiltered Doll Reactions.
All right, Slash.
Oh, what you working for? Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Unfiltered Doll Reactions.
All right, Slash.
Oh, what you working for?
I feel like screaming a little bit. Y'all still in here? I'm like, where's that white boy with that rap song that I didn't download it on here? He got anxiety. Honey, I think mine anxiety. Where's it at? Do we ain't got to download it here? Let me see y'all before we go. Where's the anxiety song at? Because my God, on today. Hey, let's let this white boy scream at us real quick, okay? Let's play the whole song. No, this is a different song because I'm about to start cussing out everybody.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Somewhere and dyed my hair, now wanna be alone. It's much to bear and you don't care, and I won't play alone. I got you in my sight, I keep all the words you said to me. I get you, get you, get you, get you on your knees, rewrite all the things you said that I should be. I'll get you, get you, get you, now you beg me please, hey. Now I'll stay away, you were never meant to save me. Now I'll stay away, I'll hear you say you're sorry.